Let's get it. After having a moment to process the horrific news that we all received yesterday of the passing of Garrison Brown, I had an opportunity to take a look at some of the other YouTubers and to get a taste or at least a feel of some of the positions that they're taking with regard to this terrible news. And to be honest with you, I'm very impressed and I'm very moved with the notion that there's so many people who are trying to, even though we've been, and I'm in that group, have been very critical of a lot of the characters that we see on the television set with regard to the Brown family. There's been an overwhelming movement of support towards not only Gabe, who had the unfortunate circumstance where he discovered his brother, but to the parents and family and friends of this young man, and especially in this time of heart-wrenching emotions that presents itself to them. In regard to that, I wanted to make sure moving forward, I'm going to take a little break away from openly talking about the Sister Wives program critically. I want to give them a moment to be able to collect themselves, to grieve, to be able to hold on to themselves without having me pile on to anything that they've done, especially 15 years ago on a television show. So I'm going to take a moment to give them that respect. I just wanted to also talk with regard to people whom we may know. The truth of the matter is that, as I've said in my previous video, I have no idea what this young man was going through. I'm not ready to sit here and say that he did this or made this decision because of some things that I may have seen or some things that I may intimate from a television show that I watch. Again, it just reinforces the point about this being a show that has real people. And some of the pressures that go along with being on a television show are present for these young folks, even though these people technically are not stars. They're not the Hollywood elite. They're people who are popularized on a television show. Sometimes the fame does not equal the income that you receive from being on this show or this type of platform. So there's that. And even to be honest with you, when we look at the life of this young man, Garrison, and we see how strong he was on the show, how caring he was on the show, how he went out and started to develop himself. And to be honest with you, I was very impressed with the idea or notion that he came out of the military with the military background. He enrolled himself into school. He went out and bought himself a house, not only for himself, but for his younger brother, Gabriel, to stay in. And at one point, he was going to have Gwendolyn stay with them as well. Like, he was just a caring, or at least he came off to me as a caring person. And I'm speaking as a person who has watched the show and to be honest with you, has been a fan of Gabriel and been a fan of Garrison, a fan of Gwendolyn, a fan of McKelty and a lot of the kids and Aspen and seeing how strong they were and how they dealt with a lot of the challenges that they were faced with. And it's a constant reminder to me that you never really know what people are going through. You don't know what they're struggling with. You don't know what their issues are. In some cases, the people who seem like they're the strongest people, nothing is affecting them, nothing is bothering them, they always have a smile on their face or a kind word on their lips. Sometimes these are the people who suffer the most. These are the people who need our help. We often assume that the people who appear to be our rocks in our life aren't having any problems. So we don't have an issue or problem or trouble with putting our weight on that person without ever checking on them to make sure that they're okay. So in light of that, I want to do this week, instead, in lieu of my normal sister wife talk show, I want to do a special just talking and reflecting about this a particular story, the impact of the positives from impact of Garrison's life on the other family. I want to do more of a reflective show. I'm not really going to be leveling. Like I said, I'm not going to level a whole lot of opinion as far as why I think this may have happened, because frankly, I don't know. And it wouldn't be fair for me to sit here and say that he did this because of this or that or something that I saw on TLC. I'm not prepared to do that. So thank you guys for giving me the time and opportunity to voice that. I am, it's devastating news. This is something that took me, quite frankly, by surprise, as I'm sure it did for many of the family members. One of the struggles that the survivors of this have to deal with, and this is, heartfelt, is that you always ask the question, what if I would have picked up the phone? Or what if I would have drove over there? What if I would have made time to have the conversation? I didn't know that they were going through this. And had I known, I would have went over there and sat with them. Or I would have talked with them. Or I would have did what I could do. And the truth of the matter is that when there are times when people are so serious and so determined that this is something that they're going to do, they don't let anybody else know that this is what they're going to do. There wouldn't be any signs or signals. You'll spend your time trying to figure out what you could have done and how you could have known, and what red flags you could have seen, and what did you overlook, what did you miss. These questions are always going to pop up, and they're always going to be there. But the truth of the matter is, and I'm speaking just directly to people who have been in that situation, you understand better than anybody that you'll feel that way, and no matter what I say, it's not going to make you feel better about it, but I'm going to offer that anyway. There's nothing that you could have done that would have stopped this. If this is something that he decided to do, this is not something that we can look at and say it was one thing, because I don't think that it was one thing. In a lot of these situations, even as a normal person or a happy-go-lucky person who doesn't have a whole lot of problems, when you have a bad day, it could be a really bad day. And the thing that sets you off when you're having a bad day, a bad week, or a bad season, it might not be the big thing that sets you off. It may be the small thing, the fact you had a flat tire, the fact you got up late, the fact that, maybe your water got cut off or something to that degree. But you have so many big problems. This one little problem just be the one thing that just drives you over the end. And it's unfortunate. Like I said, it's a terrible situation. My heart goes out to them. I am sympathetic to their situation, and I understand that it's going to be a very difficult time. And when you lose anybody, you will always spend time trying to figure out, if you could have done something different, or maybe you could have talked to them before they passed. In these types of situations, that feeling is that much more poignant and that much more stronger. Again, keep the Brown family in your prayers and your thoughts. I'm going to keep moving to be respectful of their privacy and to give them the time and space they need to heal. So I'll still be putting out videos, but a lot of it's going to be regarding like maybe seeking sister wives, or I had some stuff I wanted to do with regard to life after lockup. So I'm going to start doing those messages. All right. Thanks so much for your time, guys. I appreciate it. Take care of one another. And more importantly, take care of yourself. If you find that you need to talk to somebody, please take the opportunity to have those conversations, because here on this plane, we need you and you are important. And even though you may be going through some things today, tomorrow lends the opportunity that you can have a better day and that things can possibly change for you. So give yourself that chance. That's my take. I'm James. This has been my take on reality, and I'm out.
Yeah.